So today's video is about long Eaton roundabouts, how to traverse them. The rules are judging a safe gap via the speed, distance, position of vehicles coming from the right. Always give way to the right unless the roundabout is controlled by traffic lights. Okay, so we're starting off from the grounds of the test centre and away we go. So checking all around me, 6-point check, signal on, come out slow, and just watching out for any cars that are still moving. At the end of the road and turning right, so check my main mirror and my right mirror, signal up for right, and waiting for my point to turn, then steering. At the end of the road, turning left, so main mirror, left mirror, signal down for left, gently brake, looking for hazards on the way into this junction. Slight turn of the wheel to position left, look left, right and ahead, then handbrake down, and calling out because it's quite hazardous on this stretch of road. And then at the lights I'll be turning left, and I'll be following signs for long Eaton. So check my main mirror and my left mirror, signal down for left, gently stop, handbrake up, going to neutral for the time being until the lights change. I'm the third car behind, so I don't need to get ready straight away. Let the lights change now, gas on, touch up, handbrake down, and away we go. Off the gas, touch down, second gear, lights change again, no problem. Brake and clutch down, stop, handbrake, neutral. So while we're waiting, we're estimating when we'll be able to move again. Traffic from the left has started moving, and only now traffic from the right is moving. So I know it's going to be a moment longer before our lights turn green. So it's been a few seconds. I'm going to put my clutch down, going to first gear. Get ready for the lights to change. I'm the lead vehicle, so I want to be ready to go straight away. So we're just scanning and planning, looking around the junction, making sure there's no hazards immediately in front of me or will affect me as I move off. Van behind me. Alright, so lights change, handbrake down, and away we go. Looking at the curb, turning with the curb, cancel signal, check all mirrors, and off we go. So following signs for long Eaton, coming up to some traffic lights. Slow, going to the right hand lane because left hand lane is chock full of vehicles, so I can overtake. Into second gear, keeping slow, traffic lights change. I know the lanes up ahead are going to merge, so I'm going to look to merge in turn with the traffic to my left. So I'll stay behind this red car to my left, check my main mirror and my left mirror. For the van that's now behind me, he's staying behind me as I gently merge with the lane, keeping a good distance to the vehicles in front, and then just following the road. So as I say, we're following the road to Long Eaton, following the signs to Long Eaton, and we'll be doing a few roundabouts. There's quite a few roundabouts on the Chilwell test routes, so we're just going to have a look at that. So we see our first sign, Long Eaton A6005. Going straight ahead at the traffic lights. Traffic lights could change. I'm allowed the 2-car rule, so if I'm within 2 car lengths, I keep going if the lights were to change, but they do not change. So keeping an eye on the lorry in front. He's the lead vehicle in this train of vehicles. There's about 5 of us in this train. I'm the third car in. Keeping my distance first roundabout is coming up in about a minute or two. In the meantime, I'll scan and plan for hazards up ahead. Crossing's clear, the button hasn't been pushed on crossing, so I know the light should stay green. Keeping about 2 seconds behind the vehicle in front. Checking my mirrors, the van is behind me. Go over the lines for the van to my left, and then mirrors come back in within the lines safely. Cycle lane to the left, so I wouldn't move any further left. Traffic lights up ahead. No pedestrians. Can't see if the button's been pushed. But 2-car rule. I'm within 2 cars. I wouldn't stop if the lights did change. Okay, so we've got our first roundabout coming up. You'll see the white sign up on the left. Okay, I'm going to be following signs for the M1 at the roundabout and the A605. Coming up to the roundabout, I'll check my mirrors. And the lorry is slowing, car behind it is slowing. And I'm scanning the roundabout now, looking ahead at the cars that are coming round the roundabout. Because those are the first cars I'm going to see. Looking at the lorry that's going to come round and block all the traffic to the right. But will it stay blocked? Will I have time to move? I'm looking at traffic coming around. There's a car coming around from the right now. Looking ahead, looking right, there's no more cars, so off I go, and I'll position to the left and then check my mirrors and signal down for left as I leave the roundabout, keeping my position. I'm going to do the same at the next roundabout. I'm going to the second exit. Okay, meanwhile there's a crossing there that could change. The button has been pushed. Okay, and then I see a car coming around from the right, and there's one waiting from the right. Bus is blocking him off, so I'm going to go. I'll keep position to the left. I'll check my main and my left mirror, signal down for left, and then into third gear. There's 2 lanes, they will merge. I'm checking my mirrors for anybody overtaking me on the right. Meanwhile, traffic head is slow, so I'm off my gas. There's a bus up ahead, so we know the bus is going to stop again at some point, and that will hinder traffic to a certain extent. So I'm already planning as to what I'm going to do in terms of overtaking that bus. Traffic is quite slow going over this humpback bridge. Checking my mirrors just in case I have to stop because I couldn't see. The lights ahead are red, and I'm checking my mirrors and slowing. Going to second gear, catch up on the way. And I'm looking ahead of the bus for a bus stop, because then I know that he could stop there. Check my mirrors. We're now heading to the next roundabout, which is about a mile, half a mile up the road. Sky is looking particularly black, so I expect heavy rain at some point. That's going to be relevant. Check my mirrors and keeping slow because it's quite busy in Long Eaton. Lots of traffic, lots of junctions off to the left and the right. Okay, so we've passed through that. Car on the left, he could pull out. So I'll stay slow until I'm happy that there's enough space and vision for me to accelerate. Parked cars on the left, so pedestrians could pop out from between cars. Crossing coming up, button hasn't been pushed and there are no pedestrians. One last parked car to get by, and then I can move back to the left. Check my mirrors, in position to the left, and accelerate because I've now got more space and vision ahead and to the sides of me. Now in the distance, see a white sign with a roundabout symbol, which means there's a roundabout coming up, and I'm going to be going right to that roundabout, following the signs for the M1. It's a 40-mile-an-hour sign as well, so mirrors, and I'll accelerate. So main mirror, right mirror, signal up for right, off the gas, to third gear, gently brake, second gear. Scanning and planning, looking ahead for anybody that's blocking off traffic to the right. This car's going left, so I can go now. Off the gas, clutch down, second gear. And then anything that's waiting should stay waiting. Check my mirrors and signal down for left as I position to the left for my third exit. Check all mirrors into third gear. Away we go. Car ahead is turning and slowing. Check my mirrors and then I'll accelerate now that he's cleared. Looking ahead to another crossing. Can't see that the button's been pushed. Straight ahead at the roundabout, following signs for Sandy Acre, and that's going to be the second exit. Looking at my road markings, I see that the lane to the right is the lane that goes ahead, so I'm picking that lane rather than the left-hand lane, which only goes left. If you find yourself in that lane, you must go left rather than swerving to getting to the correct lane to go straight ahead at that roundabout. Going straight ahead, speed limit's still 40, it's about to go down to 30. Right, here are the signs. Check my mirrors. I'm already at 30 miles an hour. Following the road ahead, I'll be turning right shortly. There'll be a roundabout coming up. Mirrors. See the roundabout sign and the yellow sign for give way. I'll be turning right. Main mirror, right mirror, signal up for right. Off the gas into third gear, squeeze the brake to second gear, ease the clutch up. Look to my right, car to my right is waiting to go left, so I'll continue. It's a 20 mile an hour zone here, so I will continue at 20. There's humps to negotiate in this road as well. This is College Street, well known for its narrowness and its parked cars. There will be lots of what we call meeting situations where we meet traffic coming the other way and only one vehicle can get through at a time in that space. So we'll look out for that while we're getting round to our roundabouts again. Vehicle on the left, gently brake for the hump. Looking ahead, I should be able to overtake this vehicle and stay on my side of the road. Always estimating how far I have to go over to the right to avoid oncoming traffic. Traffic to the left, I should say. Not vehicles to the left. Now traffic's over the lines on my side, but I've got space on the left just to gently move left away from oncoming vehicles. I'll continue down the road in that lane, staying close to the curb, checking my mirrors, checking the vehicle behind. I'm already looking ahead and see parked cars on the left and on the right, and when we look further up, bus has stopped up on the left. Could be an overtaking opportunity, I doubt it though. So mirrors, off the gas, I'm going to stop behind vehicle on the left because there's a bit of a queue behind the bus. So I'm just going to wait here, then the van can come through. Stop, handbrake on, first gear, signal on while I wait. Cyclist behind the van, black car coming through. Then I'm going to edge forwards and see what this car does. We've got the last blue car coming. I want to get out after him. So there is again for cyclists coming around me, and then off we go. Check my mirrors. mirrors, make sure I'm in the right position, and main mirror, left mirror to come back in towards the curb as this oncoming car is over the lines, and the next one is too, so I'm going to stay near the curb. There's a pothole on the left, so just slow for that, and a hump at the same time. These car over the lines as well. Oncoming traffic is going to be in that position, so I'm going to make sure I stay left to avoid it, and then obviously negotiating all the humps as I see them. Next one's going to be at the next junction. I'm already looking ahead to the crossing and the parked cars on the right as well as on the left. There is a car coming towards me. I saw reflections of lights. There's the car, and the car is going to come over the lines, I think, so I'll stay slow and I'll stay close to the curb. Van coming, he's obviously a bit bigger, so I'm staying left and seeing what he does. Is he going to continue? He's slowing down, then he's speeding up, so I just stayed slow. Looking at the red car, should be able to go left away from that as I go around the parked car, and then check mirrors and accelerate. But more parked cars, so we'll just check mirrors and stay off the gas for this car to get by, then check my mirror and then go around. I should be able to stay on my side of the road as I do so. Looking for people at the junction to the left, cars emerging from the junction. So coming to the end of this road, it's now a 30-mile-an-hour road I'll be entering. I'll be turning right, so I'm going to check my main mirror and my right mirror. I'm going to signal up for right, position to the right. I'm ready off the gas. I'm gently going to brake, get to my point of turn and stop. Handbrake up, looking for cars turning in. There's a right turn box in front of me, so cars turning in will be quite close. So I don't want to turn until I know that they have gone by. So this last car should be fine, and then I'll go gas, clutch, and off we go. It's getting a bit dark now. Check all mirrors. I want to put my lights on, so that's what I'll do. New road, new mirrors. I'm going over the lines because of the parked cars on the left. So going back to the roundabout we did earlier, but this time we'll be going left at that roundabout. In fact, we'll be going straight ahead at that roundabout. As per the sign on the left, we would then go straight at the roundabout. See, the second sign says straight ahead is right ahead lane. It's in the right hand lane, so we need to be in that lane to go straight ahead, and that's where we are. So I'm already scanning the roundabout, looking at traffic opposite and traffic to the right. There's no cars to the right that's going to affect me, so I'm just going to continue. I'll check my mirrors and signal down for left to leave the roundabout. I stayed to the right because it was a right lane that I was in to begin with. It's a 40-mile-an-hour road along here until the 30-mile-an-hour sign, which will be coming up shortly. So I'm heading towards Breaston. There's our 30-mile-an-hour sign. Check mirrors and slow. left. Check my mirrors. I'm going to have to move right. I'm looking for oncoming traffic, making sure it's safe for me to do that as I cross the lines. There's another van there too. I'm following the signs for Sorley. Signs coming up now. I'm going to check my main mirror and my left mirror. Signal down for left. Gently brake into third gear. And second gear. Sorley Road. Coming in. Keeping reasonably close to curb, so I'm turning my wheel with the curb. I see a lorry come the other way. That's fine, I was slow anyway. And there's another one in the distance. I should be able to get around these parked cars in the meantime. So mirrors and position. Get around these parked cars. And then I'll position to the left again. Check my main and my left mirror to position left. The road looks like it's narrowing, so I'm just going to slow down and let this lorry get by, because he's quite big. Alright, and then I'll check my mirrors and I'll go. Didn't want to get too close to him. There was no need. So, mirrors and go. Looking ahead, the road is still narrow. You can see the national speed limit sign. White sign with a black line, or black slash. Check my mirrors and I'll accelerate. Now, national speed limit on a country road like this is a 60-mile-an-hour road, but 60 is not always appropriate, depends on what you see. It's a wet road and it is winding and it is narrow, so 60 is not really an appropriate speed along this. Maximum 40 I would suggest. Cyclists coming the other way. It's quite twisty. There's a level crossing coming up. First light to come on at level crossing is the amber light, so if I saw that, treat it like a traffic light, and if I'm following up the way, I would continue. I would stop, I should say. Check my mirrors. Let's go on. Can get up to about 40 as I approach these two bends. An S bend we call this. To the left and then to the right. See the black and white arrows telling us it's a bit of a sharper bend. At about 33 miles an hour. Going to fifth gear now because it's more gentle bend. So 44 mile an hour. And about 50. I know that I'm going to have to slow down for this bend. So mirrors slow. Fourth gear again. Third gear, clutch up gently as I negotiate the bend down to about 23 miles an hour. And up ahead is a 30 mile an hour sign. So you never really get up to 60 on that road, even though that's the speed limit. It's a limit, not a target. So we always go at the speed that's appropriate for the road and for your car. So checking mirrors as I go into middle road to avoid parked vehicles. I'll stay out here until I've got my gaps, mirrors in position back when it's safe. I know there's parked cars in the distance, so I'm looking beyond those for oncoming traffic. Monitoring my speed in the meantime. I've just come off a high-speed road, so my brain might want to go faster because it will feel slower at 30 miles an hour. So monitoring the speed and staying in the middle of the road for parked vehicle on the left, and it narrows on the left as well. And mirrors in position gently left with the road. The lines go left, so I go with them as long as there's no parked vehicles to avoid. There are now, so mirrors in position out again, and then mirrors to position back in. Always check your main and your right, main and your left. So at the end of the road I'll be turning left. I'll wait until I've got within about 4 or 5 car lengths before I signal. And if there's a road on the left beforehand, I delay the signal even longer. And there is a road on the left, so I'll wait. And then check my main and my left mirror, signal now, and into third gear, second gear. Following signs just along Eaton, and then position to the left and get to the line, and I'll put my handbrake up. It's a blind junction, so I want to just wait until I've got a gap that I'm happy with. So a grey car's coming from the right. I'm going to put my gas on, clutch up because there's a nice gap behind him. Check all mirrors and to second gear. It's a 30 mile an hour road. I'm looking ahead to see brake lights, so I'm just going to stay slow There's a bus beyond all of that, way in the distance, so that's probably what slowed traffic down. And that's what we're doing, always planning ahead, never speeding up into trouble. Keep way back, especially when you've got taller vehicles in front of you. There's a van that's closer to me, and now he's blocking my vision of the road ahead. And traffic is quite slow. I can just see in front of the van as the road bends to the left that there's a gap, but there are brake lights on the car in the distance, so it doesn't look like I'm going to get up to speed much in this road. It's quite a narrow road. Bus comes slightly on this side of the road as it overtakes the parked car. No need to get up to the back of the car in front. As I look ahead, I see there's maybe 6 or 7 vehicles in front of the van, so that's why traffic is kind of slow. And this distance the vehicle in front is perfect, because it gives me a bit of space, a bit of vision, allows me to be able to plan my road ahead. I see this lorry coming ahead. If I was too close to the vehicle in front, I probably wouldn't. I'm going to position to left because he's going to come out in the middle of the road, so I'm going to the curb. And that's planning. And then check mirrors and go. I see there's nobody else ahead. Car pulls out in front of me on the right. That's fine. So now we're approaching our roundabout, and at that roundabout we're going to turn right. Go, check my mirrors, signal position to the right for the lane on the right, and I'm looking to the right. There's no vehicles to the right, so I'll continue. Going round carefully, check my main and my left mirror to leave, keeping slow. I'm in second gear, which is a good gear to approach a roundabout in. New road, new mirrors, new speed limit on 40. Check all mirrors and accelerate. Into fourth gear. There's a lorry. He might be a bit slow. 3 cars behind him. So I'll stay back. Keep my distance at about 2 seconds, or about 7 car lengths. Lorry ahead is turning, I can see that, so I may need to stop because he's quite big. He may block the road while he's waiting to turn right. So into 4th gear, in readiness for that to happen. He's moved to the centre of the road, but he may not be a big enough gap to his left. Turns out there is. I'll go slow because he's still taking up a bit of the lane. So going slow. That's it. Away we go. Still 40 mile an hour along here. Looking ahead, no one at the crossing, button has been pushed. Speed of the car in front of me, he's not quite up to speed, so I'll just stay back at about 35 miles an hour. Now I see my 30 mile an hour speed limit. So mirrors and slow, 4th gear, van on the left, waiting, making sure he doesn't come out. Now we've got hazard signs as we go around the left. There's roadworks, no problem. I kept my distance, so there's no sharp braking. I'll put the handbrake up into neutral while we wait. Temporary light sign on the left, so this may take a while. Check my mirrors, see what's coming up behind me. There's quite a queue behind me. With roadworks, always go through slow because you're on the lookout for road workers, men in the road, maybe crossing the road or walking on your side of the road towards you or away from you. Chances are with roadworks you'll have to go on the other side of the road as well, potentially, depending on which side the roadworks are on. So I've got that to factor in so that we know how to position. I've seen a reflection of the traffic lights changing on one of the vehicles ahead, and now we're moving. Check my mirrors, I'm moving off the gas clutch, down second gear. And it turns out the roadworks on the right hand side, so we don't have to move to that side. Staying slow, road worker just ran across the road, so that's exactly what I was saying. Stay slow because you never know if that's going to happen again. Always have space and vision. You want both of those before you accelerate. So check my mirrors, I've now got space, I've got a little vision. A bit blind as I go around this corner, but I can see through the railings that traffic seems to be moving at a steady pace. Another roundabout up ahead. I'll be taking the third exit. It looks like a second exit, but it is the third. Basically going ahead at this roundabout for the third exit. Unusual, as the third exit is usually to the right. With this roundabout, first exit is very close. First and second are very close together. So position to left is normal. And then wait for it, mirrors, signal down for left. Always signal when you're level with the exit before the exit you actually want. Check all mirrors. Kept going in that roundabout because there was nothing to my right. It's a quiet roundabout, that one. Meanwhile on this road, it's new road, new hazards. It narrows here, so keeping slow. So go through here on my side of the road still. Then I move to the left to avoid oncoming vehicles. Traffic lights are red up ahead. I'll stay in second gear, no point speeding up. Just come up slow and hope that the lights change for me, which they do. See if I can stay in second gear. Looks like I can. Yep. And mirrors and go. Lights have now been green for a few seconds, so they could change back to red. So I'll stay in second gear until I get through. Now into third. We're in Long Eaton town centre, so that's going to bring with it lots of hazards. So lots of people, lots of vehicles, van on the right, turning right. Someone's pushed the button for the crossing. So you're not really going to go above 20 miles an hour along here because I haven't got a lot of space. Got some vision, but space is limited. Gently braking now into second gear as I approach the mini roundabout, at which I'm going straight ahead. There is a car waiting to the right, so I'm going to wait for him and the next car as well. Then I'll get my car ready because there's a gap to the right. Nothing coming around this mini roundabout. I see the lady on the left at the roundabout. I'll go through. So up ahead, there's pedestrian crossing to first gear, clutch up, keep slow. It's crawling up nicely. Up ahead, there's another roundabout. Surprise, surprise. At that roundabout, I'm going to go left. Alright, so we're going to do a few left turns now. So check my mirrors, signal down for left as this lane goes ahead and left. If it was just a left only lane, I wouldn't need the signal. Just going gently forwards, looking at cars to the right. Okay, so I'm judging the speed and distance of vehicles on the right. So there's a van coming around and he should block off traffic to the right. So I'm going to go, just check he's not coming all the way around, and then I go. Making sure my position is nice and tight. At the next roundabout, I'll be going left. Into first gear. Don't want to block the crossing as I wait for traffic ahead. Turning left, mirrors, signal, nothing to the right, so I'll continue. If there was, I'd obviously slow and stop. I'll stay slow because I'm still in the town centre and I'm expecting lots of hazards, people crossing the road and traffic lights changing quite often. Meanwhile, there's a taxi on the left reversing towards me. Just going to move a bit to my right to give him space. Mirrors and slow as the lights are still red. Clutch up to slow the car down into first gear now as I give the car ahead. Time to move off. There's a bus waiting on the left. It could move just as I'm going to overtake. There's a car coming the other way, so I'm going to wait a while and just judge whether or not I can get through. Looks like I can, so I will go around the bus, but get to the left as soon as possible. Meanwhile, crossing ahead is going to change because the button's been pushed. I'm too close to be able to stop. It just changed as I went through. Staying slow as again we have some traffic lights and I'll be going straight ahead at those traffic lights. Going to be heading down back to the Long Eaton station roundabout again. Same roundabout for Acton Industrial Estate. So in neutral while we wait. Now the lights change, set the gas, bring the clutch up, check my mirrors, handbrake down, and away we go. Changing gears, accelerating, watching the vehicle in front, watching the bend up ahead. There's a junction on that bend to the left, so I just want to make sure nothing's coming out of that road. And I'll stay slow because there's parked vehicles on the left as I go around the bend. Just make sure my vision is clear enough for me to continue. I'll go into fourth gear for eco-safe driving, keeping the engine rested at just under 30 miles an hour. Looking ahead, see there's more parked cars, which means vision could be obstructed. Might not see junctions or people coming out from between the vehicles. So cars come out from the left, so there's a junction there. Pedestrian crossing, that's deserted. Watching the van on the left, make sure he doesn't come out. I could stop if he did. Always be able to stop in the space you can see to be clear. Otherwise you're going too fast. That's why we always say space and vision, you must have the two. Right, watching this car as well on the left as it emerges from the left. Okay, now I like the road a bit better, lots more space.